It doesn't matter if you buy a flagship or mid-ranger or even an affordable smartphone, you'll always be looking for the better battery life. The need even continues in the entry-level devices. These days, a good battery life means at least a day on average usage or two on the better side. Targeting the same mindset of the users, Lava unveiled Iris Fuel F1 smartphone and a 4000 mAh battery is the main highlight. For the record, this isn't the first device in the Fuel series which always aims for the larger battery. I have already done the unboxing of this phone, so you can watch that for the specifications and component it arrived with. Right here I'll be sharing the detailed review covering how it performs, how is that camera, how is that non-HD display and how far it goes with that larger battery. Starting with the design, first thing every one of our team member noticed was the device thickness. Devices since 2014 are looking for the slim profile and we are all adjusted to that trend. But the Iris Fuel F1 here should be forgiven for the fact of carrying a bigger battery. Now anyone can live with that thick device, but it should ship with a larger battery. A metal strip runs across the device with chamfered edges and plastic made front and rear sides. There is no branding at the front. Since the navigation buttons are software powered, the capacitive buttons are not present. The earpiece speaker with a tiny notification light within is placed at the top center, accompanied by the ambient light sensor and the 5 megapixel selfie camera. The rear side gets the camera at top center, followed by LED flash and a clear 8 megapixel rating. Drifting further, you can see the F1 model making and a Lava branding at the bottom, which is just above the speaker grill. The volume rocker and power buttons are perfectly placed on the right side. They do offer a decent travel. With all these components and aesthetics, the device does look good, which is not the case with most of the smartphones in this price group. So kudos to the design team. Now let's talk about the battery first. There are two reasons why this device can last easily for at least 2 days. You can even complete the second day without carrying the charger. First reason is, of course, the larger battery, and the second one is the display. Every of its competitor is offering at least HD resolution display, but Lava went with the resolution of 854 x 480 pixels. The device can play HD standard movies with MX Player app, but that's all you got. This decision really helps it to meet the battery life target it is expected to. And seriously, this is the main highlight of the phone. During my heavy testing, the device easily reaches at least 11 hours on the clock before dying completely. I played Asphalt 8 game continuously and watched 3 movies which were pending on the list over the week. This is insane, right? 3 movies and an hour of mixed gaming or browsing or whatever you wish to do. On the next day, I tested the device for long calls and it was still able to reach the 9 hours mark on the clock. Surely, this is the prime highlight of the phone. According to my notes, every 1 hour of high usage drops the battery approx 8 to 12%. The Lollipop's battery saver mode is present to increase the juice further and you can even turn on the super power mode. Once that's running, it restricts the whole software, leaving only few apps running including dialer, contact and messaging. You can add few apps to the exception like Facebook, but it never allows any battery killing app here. I did found gestures working in this mode. The display is every bit useful even if it's not having that HD mark, and it can still play the movies and games in medium graphics setting. And as I said previously, the HD movies. Of course you can see frames dropping in the games, but the processor still handles everything to maintain the good experience. 2 gigs of RAM and a quad-core processor inside is to be thanked for. Before I move to the next section, I should conclude the display. It doesn't offer good viewing angles, but still it couldn't be called that bad. I'll go with the word manageable here. Please don't ask about the color reproduction, display isn't the highlight here, remember? But it's all good for an average user. Being a smartphone, it carries 2 camera units covering both sides, but none of them work like their specifications are mentioned. The front 5 megapixel is still acceptable, but the rear one is just pathetic. No matter how much natural light it gets, how still you remain while pressing the shutter, images are always going to get captured with lots of noise. And about the night time, when I tried testing the combination of camera and flash, I ended up capturing just 5 shots. I know my way around the camera and how it works, and these 5 shots can easily convey my message. By the way, this completely ruined pic is of Ravan Dayan. See? Since the hardware and software combination isn't working well, talking of the camera app isn't that necessary. But still, for the record, it carries the same interface which you will find in every Micromax, Syntax, Lava or any other similar names. No one can call that interface totally easy or totally bad. It's just there to complete the necessity, and that's all. Now let's talk about the software. Android 5.1 OS is booting, and as you can see, most of the parts are left stock. But Lava did offer its customization. It was carrying a bunch of bloatware, pre-installed apps, but knowing the price group device belongs to, it isn't any surprise. Amazon, KleanMaster, Hotstar, Myntra, OLX are to name few. Thankfully, the individual uninstall option was working. It allows gesture inputs, which can be enabled and even set according to the personal taste. The few default I used was double tap to back and letter C to launch the camera quickly. Useless features like a search app was there, which did nothing but acted like the Google search app. You can fire it up, enter the search term, and then it will launch the default web browser to showcase the results. However, it does offer a bunch of search engines to choose. But still, it was useless because the device is running Android and we have Google search right at the home screen, which even works with the voice command. Another useless thing was that Android browser. Yes, that old one, which was replaced by Chrome, but Lava still shipped it. And seriously, you shouldn't start the music app. It looks bad and that summarizes the whole thing. Try using Play Music app or Savan. A to-do app is also present to quickly add a reminder, but you can only set the date. No option to set the time is offered, which leaves the app in between, and I'll recommend using Google Keep or Evernote. The only default app I liked was the video player, which was simple and had what it needed. Thankfully, Google Keyboard was popping up right away, and as you can expect, it did work well. While making phone calls, the rear mounted speaker is loud enough to make the calls totally feasible. Its output during music or movie playback is also average. One thing which I found broken was that the voice search wasn't working in the dialer app. I was able to start multiple apps and games together, and switching between them was easy. Considering the price tag and processor inside, I didn't mind it taking a second or two to react. But it was always there. I never found any crashing or total lagging. While playing Asphalt 8 game, the screen did get unresponsive, but it happened only once, and then I found that the device internal storage was full, which was causing it to work slow. Only 3.78 GB is available, which completes way faster than you can expect. So keeping apps and games in the SD card is recommended. As I said a minute ago, it can play games and movies, which concludes the performance on an average side. Playing Candy Crush Saga and similar titles was every bit enjoying. So it's a good device for the gamer in you, but you will be missing the non-HD screen. Now there is one more issue with the affordable devices, the heating issue. I haven't talked about it much because the device isn't affected from the cold. The temperature never reaches to that uncomfortable level. To conclude this review, it's anyone's guess that the device should be bought for the average performance, kind of good looks, and the very stretching battery life. At this moment, Lava has listed the device in black and white colors on both Amazon and Flipkart at a price around 8,000. I'll personally prefer the white color.